The holidays are coming, you guys, which means we are obligated as a business to try and take as much of your money as possible.
That's why we've come up with new products to sell you. We got shirts, we got hats, we got all kinds of things for you.
If you want a Brock Life shirt, if you want a Jetpack Rescue Squad shirt.
Ooh, that salmon cannon shirt's cool.
If you want any of that stuff, you want a hat that says "They's Aliens," we got you. We have concerns.com/shop. Airplane nightmare that could possibly happen
is
trying to
fluffy
fit a pillow into your carry-on and still fit in all the other stuff you need. That's literally the worst thing that can happen to you on an airplane.
Right. Okay, well,
we have concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Oh, man. Swimming. It's not summer anymore, but let's talk about swimming anyway.
I love swimming.
Me too. I grew up swimming. I had a swimming pool in my backyard when I was a kid. It was the greatest. It was the greatest.
It's like the most... I genuinely still think swimming is like a miracle feeling when I'm doing it. It's like the closest thing that we will have to flight.
I agree, dude. When I was so into comic books when I was a kid. I used to go in the backyard in my swimming pool and pretend that I had the power of flight and like push off from the bottom of the pool and feel like I was flying. It was the greatest.
It's amazing. I love swimming.
Here's the problem with swimming. We got this article sent to us by Emil Lange. I hope I'm pronouncing that even remotely correct.
It's Lange.
Lange. Well, Lange, thank you for sending it. This was an article from Women's Health Magazine about public swimming pools and a report. It's a little distinction there. Public swimming pools, which are a nightmarish hellscape, it turns out.
I was a lifeguard for a long time.
Were you really?
Yep.
Wow. What was that experience like?
I mostly would get high and sleep in the room with the clean towels because it was at a country club.
Just because it had a nice fresh scent.
Yeah. So I worked at the Country Club of Orlando, which was a weird country club because it was a predominantly Mormon country club. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't a large Mormon community in Orlando, but they were all members of this country club. So it had a little bit of a commune-y, compoundy vibe to it, but I didn't know that going in. But so it was me and like 4 or 5 other, like teens or whatever, and we'd have to spend 15 minutes per hour on the chair and then 15 minutes at the front desk.
Huh.
And
it's
just
like a very rapid rotation.
It is a rapid rotation because it's like you're supposed to keep fresh when you're
right. You want to say lemony fresh like the towels.
Yeah. So what I would do, chair, desk. Right behind the desk was the back room where we kept all the clean towels that came from the club laundry. And I would literally go in there and they were like warm and soft. And I would just like get high and sleep in the towels. And I would miss my time on the chair because the thing is you can't leave the chair until somebody comes to relieve you.
Right.
And I just...
There would just be a guy there for 30 minutes and he's
45.
He's bleary-eyed.
And then we had walkies, but I was like asleep. I was literally asleep.
You're the worst.
And I would go to like the country club kitchen and I'd try to like get them to like make me chicken nuggets and stuff.
Oh, sweet chicken nugs.
Chicken nugs. It was just chicken nugs and towel naps, man.
That doesn't sound like a job.
Oh, it was the best. I got fired so fast.
Well, this is an article that Emil sent us from Women's Health Magazine talking about a report that the CDC put out. They teamed up with the Water Quality and Health the Water Quality and Health Council.
His can't end well.
And the National Swimming Pool Foundation. And they put out this article about swimming pools. It turns out, you ever been in a swimming pool, a public pool in particular, where they just throw so much chlorine in there that you come out of it and your eyes are bloodshot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it turns out, guess what? That's not the chlorine that's making your eyes bloodshot. It is purported by the CDC. It's quite the opposite. They say that chlorine...
It's anti-chlorine.
Chlorine binds
chlorine
with all...
from the negative zone.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It's chlorine, he says, binds with all the things it's trying to kill from your bodies, and it forms these chemical irritants. That's what's stinging your eyes. It's the chlorine binding to urine and sweat.
Huh.
So that's the old PI. You get the old urine eye.
Well.
Yeah. That's what that is.
So number one, I believe it. I 100% believe that. That doesn't surprise me at all. Number two, well, that kind of tells me chlorine's doing its job.
I guess.
You know?
If its job is getting pee in my eye.
Well, the pee's going to get in your eye anyway.
I guess.
At least it's bonding to the chlorine, which is going to kind of break it apart and disinfect it. Man. I'll tell you this, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of kids in the pool at the Country Club of Orlando. A lot of kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I 100% believe that those kids were peeing in the pool all the time.
I have never in my life peed in the pool. I grew up in a pool. The idea of that just horrifies and mystifies me. I don't understand why people would do it.
I don't want to be in my pee. Even as a kid, I was just kind of like, okay, I pee in this pool. Where does the pee go? Answer, nowhere. It's in the pool. And now it's just me and urine swimming around, pretending I'm flying through urine, I guess. Even as a child, that was terrible to me. Like the thought of it.
I've peed in a lake. Out on a boat, because I used to go water skiing a lot when I was a kid too, and there's nowhere to go, and so you just kind of like dip into the lake and you pee into a lake, and it warms up the area around you. I've peed in the ocean.
Yeah.
Peeing in a pool, though, not something I would ever do.
I try not, like a lake, I understand that it's fine because the lake is so huge and the parts per million of pee to water in that, in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that worried about it, but I try not to, but I mean, the ocean's fair game. Everything's peeing in the ocean all the time.
It's like 90% pee.
That's what the ocean is.
Yeah.
I actually had, I had two reputations, two things I was known for at the Country Club of Orlando.
Yeah.
Number one was sleeping in the towels. And number two was never getting in the water. I was a lifeguard who would never get in the water.
That's not what a lifeguard...
That's not what a lifeguard...
Are you sure that you weren't thinking that you would just save people from really fluffy towels?
If somebody was lost, say, in a pile of towels.
Yeah, that's what you thought a lifeguard does?
I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to save them.
And you're going to fall asleep right next to them.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in there, I'm going to big spoon them.
You're going to be the big spoon.
And we're going to nap together.
Yeah.
And we're going to be safe. Maybe I'll bring some chicky nugs with me.
That'll be delicious.
Wouldn't it
and
be wonderful?
Comforting.
No, I mean, I would swim, every morning, the lifeguards had to swim a 1,500.
Oh.
So you get in, you swim a 1,500, and then I would not get back in the pool because it's fucking full of children.
Well, guess what?
Public pools. Bah.
The CDC
says...
How
many people are peeing in a pool, Jeff?
A lot. It says it's very rampant, and that the idea that there's this dye that'll show up red.
Lies.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
The thing that changes whenever a camp counselor or somebody at a public pool told you, we put this stuff in the pool that turns the water a different color when you pee in it.
Not true.
Lies.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that does that.
It gets worse, dude. The CDC says that there's been a huge uptick in the number of people that have diarrhea in pools as well.
No!
Yeah.
No! You shouldn't be getting in a pool. You know that. Why are you doing... No!
It says there has been an increase in the number of disease outbreaks in public swimming pools thanks to adults, children, or babies swimming while they have diarrhea.
No!
And it's much more pervasive than it used to be. And guess what? There was it's even bad in lakes. They said there was an outbreak, a norovirus outbreak in Oregon, and according to a CDC investigation, they believe that the outbreak began when someone infected with a norovirus swam in and had diarrhea or vomited in the lake.
God damn you fucking people. You nightmarish fucking hellscape people. You gross fucking trolls.
Yeah.
How dare you? Number one, lakes are disgusting. I've
spent so much of my life in lakes, and one of the things they recommend is don't go into pools or lakes when you're sick or when you have open wounds.
Yeah.
And I was constantly in lakes when I had open wounds. I was a kid. I would scrape my leg and jump in the lake and it would feel better. It was open wounds in me were like simpatico. I was Mr. Open Wounds. They called me Old Open Wound Jeff. Who? All the other kids.
Were these all accidents, Jeff?
They were mostly accidents.
Jeff?
Yes.
Is there any reason that you were opening up and letting blood in specific places and times?
It was just to compensate for all the diarrhea I was having. There was a lot of diarrhea and open wounds. No, none of that's true. honestly, I really feel like I had scraped knees all the time as a kid. I would fall, I'd scrape my leg, you'd cut yourself, and I would go into the lake because we were constantly in the summertime going to the lake. I lived on the Delta in Northern California. We were constantly going in the water.
No, I was definitely told. So I was told by my parents, if you have a cut or a scrape or something like that, do not go into the lake because of the bacteria in the lake.
I was never told this.
Which in reality, well, that's what you get for growing up Gentile, man. So I was told
That's true.
from a very early age, lake water is disgusting. Why do you think when you go swimming at the lake at camp, they give you eardrops before and after? Because lake water is fucking gross.
Never got eardrops, but okay.
What kind of camp did you go to, man?
I went to a Gentile camp.
Well, so did I.
I never got eardrops.
You never had the eardrops?
I've never even heard of that.
Dude, you got to get the eardrops because otherwise you get all kinds of fucked up.
All right. Never had that, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, I spent so much time in the water when I was a kid.
Who sends their kid into the water with diarrhea?
I don't know. That's awful.
Any water.
I've seen people dipping their babies with diapers on into things.
If your
like,
child is in a diaper, that child cannot be in a public pool.
Don't you think we have this weird... We have such cognitive dissonance. If we don't see something actually happening, we don't think it happens.
Yeah.
But it seems like every standing pool of water in the world is full of fucking
literally where
matter.
Disease comes from.
It's terrible.
It's stagnant pools of liquid.
And I love swimming. We started this whole episode talking about how much we love swimming.
I love swimming. I love swimming in controlled locations and environments. Much as I love everything else, Jeff.
They say that even if you go to a indoor pool, a public indoor pool, and you have that cough that you get, that shortness of breath cough thing.
Yeah.
That's urine and chlorine combining in the air.
Yes.
It's fucking urine you're swallowing.
Dude, even chlorine itself is, the fact that we use it is crazy to me. So we had a pool in our backyard in Florida.
Yeah.
At one of the houses that we had.
Multiple houses family.
Well, not at once, but at one point we had the money where we had a house with a pool. It did not last long, but we had it for a little while.
The house didn't last long?
Yeah.
You burned that thing down?
Because of the curse. The money is still here, but the downside of the money is the curse, which follows us.
You know what, though? It's also the upside.
Yeah. Because we're always getting to try new places.
Great.
So we had a pool, and we had the floating chlorine pod in it, right?
Oh, those are terrible.
So I thought that it looked like, everything to me looked like some sort of sci-fi weaponry or something when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I started playing with this chlorine pod.
Oh, yeah. Licking it, tasting it.
Yeah, just like how much of this chlorine pod will fit in my mouth. Like those kinds of games that kids play with chlorine
Everybody
pods.
plays that.
No, but like running around with it, pretending it was like...
a Tron disc?
Yeah, like a Tron disc or like a key to a door or like a bomb, and like running around just holding it. And like after 10 minutes, of course, I felt like I had pneumonia. Yeah. I felt like I was like one of the people on the Oregon Trail. Like I was going to die. And I was just like, ugh. And my dad comes out and he's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Why would it's full of chlorine? And I'm like 7, 8 years old. I'm like, I don't know what chlorine, but like sometimes I had to remind my dad that I was a kid. Yeah. Like, I would do that all the time because sometimes he would come out and he'd say things like, that's full of chlorine. What are you doing? And I looked at him like, I have no idea what chlorine is.
I haven't had this much fun since I played in that room full of open paint cans.
Yeah, right? I was just like, I don't understand what you're saying to me. And he's like, chlorine is a dangerous chemical. And I was like, well, why is it in our pool? And I literally threw up after I said that. I was like, well, why is it in our pool? And then I vomited on the pool deck.
See, that's how disease spreads.
Yeah, that's how it spreads.
First it's the chlorine, then the vomit goes in the pool, which causes diarrhea.
I mean, there's nothing really, when you think about swimming pools, there's nothing clean or good about them.
I love swimming, though.
But I love swimming in swimming
great.
Pools. It's so much fun. It's the best time.
What are we doing to ourselves?
Living in luxury. And damn the cost, Jeff.
Can you imagine what like a Las Vegas hotel pool is like?
No.
I think with all the people bringing their fucking babies with diapers and shit.
Listen,
literally and shit.
Here are the most disgusting kinds of standing water. From most disgusting to least disgusting, okay? Let's do this. Number 1, hot tub at a college apartment complex.
Okay, yeah.
Hot tub at okay? That's like everyone's going to try it once.
Yeah,
everybody's going to get a UTI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
you
a
gotta do it.
UTI test tube. is
Yeah,
what that
everybody's
is.
gonna do it. That's number one.
Incubator.
Number two is like a small vacation lake, like one of those lakes that's like there's clearly not enough lake to people ratio, but
Yes.
it's the only one around.
It's like Lake Havasu. It's like
Yes.
crowded with people on spring break.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just good. Number three, public pool in a large city.
Yeah.
Number four,
Four surprisingly is actually the pit behind the nuclear waste place that they're just dumping all the
Yeah.
stuff. That's number 4.
That's number 4 after the public pool in a large
Yes.
large metropolitan area. And then I would say like after that is camps, schools, country clubs,
Yeah.
the pools. Okay.
Yeah.
And then is like, I don't know, a puddle full of encephalitis
Yes.
with mosquitoes everywhere. Like
Yeah.
that's literally like,
That's the breakdown.
yeah, like the Ganges River.
It's not
you know,
good.
like
Yeah.
that's
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We had this thing when I was growing up because we had a pool in our backyard and we were the only house on our block. I lived in a cul-de-sac in a court and we were at the top and we had the only house that had a pool. And so my dad would do this thing where he had this flag that he would put out in the front of our house. And if the flag was out, that meant that our pool was open for anybody in the neighborhood, any of the kids in the neighborhood to come. And there was going to be an adult there supervising. So like if the flag's out, it means
that was real nice of your dad.
so cool. We had an awesome upbringing because it was always like this great communal thing. But now I'm thinking that my dad unknowingly was like inviting disease into our backyard.
or knowingly.
You think my dad had a agenda, some sort of ulterior motive?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, he did have that weird lab in the basement.
Okay. Describe weird.
Well, there's a lot of test tubes that I didn't understand
Okay.
and substances and liquids that were strange colors. And he would often, on hot summer days, spend a lot of time down there. And I thought it was odd because it was so hot down there. And then the flag was out and people were swimming. He would run a hose from the pool down to the basement, which I thought he was doing just to kind of cool himself down and stay cool in those hot summer months because it was so hot down there in the basement. But now I'm kind of rethinking that and think there may have been something else going on down there.
But no model trains?
No model trains.
Okay, then your dad's a normal guy.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Yeah. Model fucking train.
That's
people. That's where the weirdness comes in.
Weird shit happens with model trains.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing. This is the problem. I love swimming. You love swimming.
Love swimming.
But there are really no good places to swim unless you have your own controlled pool,
Yeah.
which who the fuck has their own pool? You fucking
Yeah.
1%ers listening to this show with your own pool. I don't want to hear from you.
But even that, I feel like, who knows?
Or the ocean.
The ocean sounds like a frightening hellscape too.
Well, sure, but I mean, like, that stuff is so deep down, like, you can't...
Well, yeah,
see
I mean, you're not going to get as much urine in you, but things are there that will sting and or eat you.
Yeah. I would rather be stung or eaten
And have urine in your
than
eye?
swim around in urine.
I'm going to take urine. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I'm taking urine over stinging.
I'll take
and
potential
bites.
jellyfish bite or shark attack over
You're gonna roll
swimming
the-
in some kid's fucking diarrhea.
You want to roll the dice on shark attack rather than a sure thing on urine swimming.
Yeah.
I'll take the sure urine over the potential for shark attack any day of the week.
Wow.
I like surfing. I like swimming in the ocean. I like being in the ocean. Nah, I'd rather be certain that I'm not going to get eaten. I'll be the eater of the urine rather than the ED from the shark.
I'll be the eater of the urine. Jeff Kanata, 2015. How do you guys feel? What do you think is the best place to swim? Do you even like to swim?
Has this changed your opinion about swimming? Because I feel like swimming is a wholesome, wonderful activity that has now been tainted by fecal matter.
Oh, concerned citizens, please let us know.
Yes.
You can tell us on Twitter. I'm at acarboni.
I'm at Jeff Kanata.
And you can hashtag those model trains. And hey, guys, this is where we normally jump into a thing that you've heard a million times. This is a thing that you have not heard a million times.
Maybe a few.
Maybe a couple, but NPR is setting up this new directory for podcasts. It's called earbud.fm.
Yeah, it's actually very cool. You have to submit individual episodes of cool podcasts you like, and we hope that you like individual episodes of our show enough to submit us.
Yeah, if you go to earbud.fm and you go up to the submit a podcast, on the top right there. You can list your favorite episode of We Have Concerns and tell people why you think it is a great show, if you think it's a great show, and they will add us to Earbud FM. And I'll tell you what, if you guys do that, we will give you, and you send us a screenshot of it, we'll send you guys a coupon to the new We Have Concerns store.
Yeah, that's super cool. It'll be 10% off, right?
10% off. Yeah. You can just email those screenshots to wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com.
Or tweet them to us. I'd love to get a tweet notification when you have done that, too.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.